Because we got the Pacers, who stole game one from the Knicks after Tyrese Haliburton's wild shot sent the game to OT. It was just the latest in a series of miraculous comebacks in Indiana in the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Knicks have staged their own unlikely comebacks this postseason, led by the clutch player of the year, Jalen Brunson. So, Perk, here's what I want to know. Big game tonight in New York. I know your eyes will be on it. If it came down to the last shot, would you rather have Brunson or Haliburton taking it?
I'm still going to roll with big body Brunson. And look, no discredit, no disrespect to Tyrese Haliburton. He's proven that he could come up clutch when it matters the most. But when you talk about taking over an entire fourth quarter or the last 3 minutes, Jalen Brunson is still that dude offensively. But I will say this. Jalen Brunson got to level up and raise his level of play to another level when it comes down to his defense, because it has been an embarrassment. They have been searching him out. They're headhunting, looking for him for the mismatches. They scored 10 out of 12 times last game when he was the primary defender. As the leader of your team, you cannot be a defensive liability. Stephen A., Wilbon, we saw Steph Curry in that fourth championship. When he got his fourth championship, what did he do? He leveled up his greatness by defending at a high level. We saw it with Jokic when he won the championship. Jalen Brunson has to be better defensively, but I'm still taking him for the last shot over Tyrese Haliburton because he's the clutch player.
Wilbon, I would tell you this. I disagree with Perk on this point because we're not talking about fourth quarter. We're not talking about clutch time. We're talking about the very, very last shot. And in these playoffs, amongst guards versus a tight defense, and just for the audience to know, a tight defense in the NBA is classified as a person who's within 2 to 4 feet away from you, according to the NBA data, okay? A person within 2 to 4 feet away from you, that is classified as a tight defense. The best person, the best shooter in the postseason against tight defense amongst guards was Christian Braun for the Nuggets at 58%. Number 2 was Tyrese Haliburton at 47%. Brunson is at 45%. So again, clutch time is different because you're talking about the last 5 minutes or so. All right, but that last shot, when we see what he's done against Cleveland, when we see what he's done against the New York Knicks, when we see what he's done throughout these playoffs, Milwaukee, I mean, in this year's playoffs, Tyrese Haliburton has been money with the last shot. We got to look at it that way, and that's the only reason I would go with him.
You know what? This is hard because Haliburton right now has a Robert Horry element to him while being a much bigger part of the Pacers as a team.
Correct.
Than our man Robert was, whether it was Houston, San Antonio, or the Lakers or Suns. This is hard. I am biased toward my young Chicago brother, Jalen Brunson, who has demonstrated the late in the game. Sorry, Stephen A., I had to get that in. I want Brunson having the ball and making the decision. I do. Man, but Haliburton, this is tough. I think if you can take the first pick, I'll take whoever's left on the board, which takes the pressure off me if we were actually choosing this on a playground. I think I'm going with Brunson and Perk, but man, it's narrow because Haliburton, he's doing this in each series.
Well, especially after coming off of game one, it's hard to go with it. But
man,
yeah.
Encore.
Looking at the body of work, absolutely. All right, Stephen A., yesterday on the show, you shared with us your top 5 worst Knicks memories, and that list came to you quick. And here they are.
That's right.
All right, so Wilbon.
I had to show it to Wilbon and you and Wilbon. I had to show it to y'all.
I got 3 of these.
This is my top 5 worst memories.
Okay, Perk, Wilbon, take a look at it. And Wilbon, I'll start with you.
Yep.
Do you agree with this list?
Yep.
Okay.
I might have a different order. I might have Reggie Miller first. But Stephen A., I get why you have John Starks first because it was in the finals. So therefore, I'm not going to argue with you.
It was game 7 of the finals.
I know. I was sitting there. I'm sitting there watching as Rolando Blackman never gets in the game. I wrote and talked about this for years, and it's the great Pat Riley who made that decision to not put Rolando Blackman in there, because if you get two
Makes no
buckets
sense.
from row B, the Knicks have a ring. But anyway, yes, I have all those same entries. I might have Reggie first because the spectacular nature, Stephen A., of those 8 points in 9 seconds, I think that is the greatest comeback I've ever seen in basketball. 2 nights ago are way up there, but I'm putting this is insane what Reggie did. And I'm going with Reggie Miller first. And then block, strip, block. When the Bulls, remember the Knicks were up in that series 2-0. And the Bulls had to come back and win that series and won Game 5 in Madison Square Garden. So yeah, I have all the things you have. And the Patrick Ewing missed finger roll, I still feel for my man Patrick. But yeah, I don't think there's any arguing with your list. I don't think there is.
The only problem I would have, actually, Haliburton, Pacers game 1, number 1.
One?
Yeah, because because that game made history, NBA history, the worst choke job in NBA history. That's number 1. Number 2, Stephen A., to be honest, this might be the Knicks' best shot at winning the NBA championship. But guess what? Losing that game may cost y'all the series.
I agree.
And that's the problem, right? Like, coming into this series, like the Knicks fan base, yes, y'all were happy because y'all made it to the conference finals and y'all haven't been there in the month of Neverwhere. But the fact that y'all thought y'all had the advantage of actually getting to the NBA championship because y'all had the edge of the better team, the better players in this series over the Indiana Pacers, and y'all smoked game 1?
Okay, fair. I get where you're coming from. Let me respond to you on Wilbon. I am 57 years old. The last time the New York Knicks won a championship, I was 5. And they are 48 minutes away from a championship. Remember, Wilbon, they were up 3-2 on Houston. And that was the 2-3-2 format.
Yeah.
They go back to Houston, if I remember correctly. They lose game 6. What did they lose game 6 by, Perk? 86-84. They lost by 2. And John Starks balled out that game. And so now it's like, all right, it's a game 7. This is what it is. It's Ewing. It's a large one. I see Kenny Smith, my brother the Jet. I see Otis Thorpe. I see Vernon Maxwell. I see Robert Ory. But we gonna get him. And Sam Casella's not forget him. All right, I see all of this. And Ewing didn't have a great game. Only had like 17 or whatever, but he wasn't horrible. Derek Harper balled. He had like 23 that game, right? And, Oakley chipped in his tennis stuff. But it's like it Starks. And you looking at Pat Riley, and you don't bring a Rolando Blackman off the bench. You acquired him in the middle of the season for the sole purpose of having an additional shooter, and then you never put him in. So I'm looking at it like, it is now 2025. Which is 31 years later, and we still don't have a championship. I'm sorry. I can't see. I love John Starks. I saw him last week. I told him I was going to lay off, and I'm trying to, but they asked me this question about my worst moment, Mike Wilbon. Not my worst moment, Mike Wilbon. My worst memory. A memory is further encompassing. And I'm like, yo. We had a championship. It was right there.
It was game 7.
Not only did we, it was 21 years from our previous championship, and it's been 31 years ever since. That's 52 years, man. Okay, 52 years. And I'm like, yo, I cannot ignore that. That has to be number 1. And then if y'all want to debate about the other night or Reggie Miller, that's fine. Put Patrick Ewing in the middle of there somewhere. Okay. But to be that close and to not have a championship to show for it in 52 years. Come on, man. I don't know how anything could be. I just don't know about that, Wilbon. I just don't.
You got to hear from Pat Riley.
No shade on John Starks.
You got to hear from Coach Riley on this. I did this. This went on for years. I was a young columnist who was very critical of Coach Riley not going to Rolando Blackman. He didn't let me forget this.
Right.
This went on for years. Whenever I saw him, and I was trying to hold my ground, I did. Saying that you got to put Rolando Blackman in the game. Is it 2 for 18? Steven, what's the number? I know it's emblazoned in your head.
2 for 18.
2 for 18.
0 for 11 from three-point range. 0 for 11 from three-point range. 2 for 18 overall. Sorry, John Stockton. Sorry, John Stockton. And Pat Riley, listen. We had a conversation, Molly, if you remember weeks ago when I said it might be time for him to hold emeritus status and hand the reins to somebody like Eric Spoelstra.
Yep.
But that's primarily because he's 80 and the game has changed, meaning the talent in terms of recruiting talent, communicating with today's players. In no way am I trying to cast any aspersions on the greatness of Pat Riley as a basketball mind and what he's still capable of. It's just that you can't recruit players to Miami in this day and age, unfortunately, because times have changed. But if there's one basketball blemish to hold against him, Molly, it's the fact that he didn't put Rolando Blackman in that game. You got to find a way to put Rolando Blackman in. You got to find a way.
Stephen A., we got to roll. But I have a feeling you're going to have a good night tonight, Stephen A. I really do.
You are. Knicks are going to come back.
And you know what? You're channeling New York with your Tony Soprano
Orange
fit right now. Woke up this morning, got myself a gun. I mean, that's really what you're doing.
Yo, Molly, you better, Molly, you better not be placating me. You better not be placating me.
No,
you better be serious, and you better text me. You better text me when the New York Knicks are winning. I'm telling you that right now, Molly. I'm gonna be very upset with you. I'm gonna be very upset if I find out you just been placating me
tonight.